I no longer listen to what people say, I just watch what they do. Behavior never lies. Diplomacy is the art of telling people to go to hell in such a way that they ask for directions. Socialism is a philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing of misery. You will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. If you're not a liberal at 20, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you have no brain. A nation that forgets its past has no future. When you're 20, you care what everyone thinks. When you're 40, you stop caring what everyone thinks. When you're 60, you realize no one was ever thinking about you in the first place. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. There is nothing government can give you that it hasn't taken from you in the first place. Everyone is in favor of free speech. Hardly a day passes without its being extolled, but some people's idea of it is that they are free to say what they like, but if anyone else says anything back, that is an outrage. The positive thinker sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. Success consists of going from failure to failure, without loss of enthusiasm. Some men change their party for the sake of their principles, others their principles for the sake of their party. If you're going through hell, keep going. A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject, and short enough to create interest. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something, sometime in your life. I'd rather argue against 100 idiots than have one agree with me. The best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. However beautiful the strategy, you should occasionally look at the results. Never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. The main vice of capitalism is the uneven distribution of prosperity. The main vice of socialism is the even distribution of misery. All the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in a single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope. Appeasement is feeding the crocodile, hoping he will eat you last. The Russian Bolsheviks have discovered that truth does not matter so long as there is reiteration. They have no difficulty whatever in countering a fact by a lie which, if repeated often enough and loudly enough, becomes accepted by the people. One man with conviction will overwhelm 100 who have only opinions. You can always count on Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Schools have not necessarily much to do with education. They are mainly institutions of control, where certain basic habits must be inculcated in the young. Education is quite different and has little place in school. If two people agree on everything, one of them is unnecessary. If Britain must choose between Europe and the open sea, she must always choose the open sea. We contend that, for a nation to try to tax itself into prosperity, is like a man standing in a bucket and trying to lift himself up by the handle. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender. You don't make the poor richer by making the rich poorer. Do not trust any statistics you did not fake yourself. When we judge or criticize another person, it says nothing about that person. It merely says something about our own need to be critical. The gin and tonic has saved more Englishmen's lives and minds than all the doctors in the empire. The greatest lesson in life is to know that even fools are right sometimes.